welcome in another edition of the Joe Ranieri Show on a Wednesday, and welcome in. Thank you so very much for making us a part of your day. Brought to you by a whole bunch of people here. Let's run through the list right now. If you are new to the show, then we'll start, of course, with our good friends at wagertalk.com, who you will be hearing maybe one of the most important interviews of your sports betting career today when we bring on the Prez, Lawrence Presman, co-founder of wagertalk.com. He has got a valuable, and I mean a valuable piece of information that you need to know. And I don't care if you've been betting 1,000 years, 3 days, an hour, thinking about it. If you are a sports bettor, then he has got a message for you about betting and how to bet. It's something you guys don't want to miss. Very, very important, which is why we brought him on the show today to be able to deliver that message to you. So we want to thank wagertalk.com. Of course, our friends at uwager.eu. It's where America bets. It's also where we bet here on the show. Also, trendybets.com. You know it's coming. Top of next hour, you'll have it. Your Trendy Bets free NBA play of the day. 8 out of the last 12 have been straight fire and money. And I have no doubt, outside of the Lakers last night not being able, I think the Lakers scored 14 points in the fourth quarter last night. 14. Yeah, they were on fire. If they would have been able to score more than 14 points, the over in yesterday's free play today probably would have hit as well. But they've got another one coming for you. Don't want to miss that. Coming up at the top of the hour. Also, halftimemagic.com. We're going to get you guys all hooked up with another chance at a halftimemagic.com one-day subscription. That's right, a free day worth of plays, courtesy of halftimemagic.com. So we'll go ahead and get you caught up with that. And Miami Acura. How can we forget our good friends at Miami Acura, who invite you to go take a test drive, the all-new 2019 RDX. Why? They're practically giving the damn truck away. I mean, if you are in the market for a car or certified used car, or maybe, a new car, whatever it may be, don't do anything before you head to Miami Acura. Check them out at miamiacura.com. We'll get you all sorts of information with that coming up a little bit later here in the show, but we want to welcome you in because we are loaded, like we said. We've got the Prez, who's coming your way with a very valuable piece of information on sports betting. We also have the captain, our _capping. He's got a college basketball play, a lock, call it what you want, money. That's what he likes to call it. He's got a play of the day for tonight on the college basketball side. You will hear from him. And also Bill Connolly, our good friend, when it comes to college football, rather. There is no better writer on the circuit than Bill Connolly, SBNation.com. If you guys haven't done so, make sure that you guys follow him because Bill is just a monster. When I tell you a monster, the articles that he pushes out on SB Nation when it comes to college football, his metrics, he's one of the best analytical metrics reporters that covers college football out there. You can find him at SBNation.com. You guys are going to love that. We're going to talk to him in just a minute, as a matter of fact. But first, we do want to give you that text line. Here it is, 305-791-3839. That's 305-791-3839. That is your text line here to the show. And the question we are asking you is, who are your top 4 teams that will make the college football playoff? Barring any and you can get crazy if you want, but we want to know from you today, who do you think? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Give me the 4 schools you think that'll be represented playing for a national championship this year. 305-791-3839. That's 305-791-3839. You text and participate in the show. You make yourself eligible to win a free day of plays from halftimemagic.com, our good friends there. So do it. Hit us up. We want to know. Who do you think's in the college football playoff this year? 305-791-3839. 39. Well, guys, it's that time of year again where the college football playoff committee is going to be gathering around. We've got championship games this weekend. It could all blow up in everybody's face, so I thought nobody better to try to put the pieces together than Bill Connolly, SB Nation, SBNation.com. He joins us via the Miami Acura hotline. And, Bill, let's start first and foremost this week with some news that what is old is new again. And here we go. Mack Brown has been announced as the new head coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Larry Fedora was let go. I keep trying to look at this, Bill, and I've read what you've wrote, but to me, this just feels lazy, and it feels like it's a money grab of sorts, like they're hoping he's going to go in there and be able to raise enough money as the head coach over the next year or so, and then there's no long-term plan here. It just feels lazy to me.
Yeah, and I mean, that's exactly what it is. He can raise money. He can hopefully recruit. We assume he can still recruit. And it's 3-4 years from now, you're going to be making another hire. It really was just it was confusing just because, I mean, they swooped in so quickly to get him when nobody else was fighting for him. But even beyond that, this is a weird market right now. This is a very good time to be making a hire if you are North Carolina, because there are no bigger names on the board right now. Auburn's apparently staying put. USC is staying put. We don't know about Ohio State yet, but they're not on the market yet at the very least.
Right.
And so this was a chance for them to go out and hire whoever they wanted to a certain degree, and they hired Mack Brown.
The whole thing, it just felt a little lazy to me, and it felt like there were some boosters involved there, or somebody just said, let's go out and let's get Mack Brown. But like you said, it's not like anybody was running after him. But everyone's going to point to Herm Edwards. I mean, age probably shouldn't be a part of it due to the fact that, once a coach, always a coach. But let's be realistic. I mean, Herm has done a admirable job at Arizona State, but he's not the end. It's not. He took a 7-5 team and he made them 7-5 again.
Yeah, their record stayed the same. Their offense basically stayed the same. Their defense basically stayed the same. And the recruiting, which is what he was hired to do, is looking at the moment to be worse this year than it was under the last few years of Todd Graham. So really, what was the point? What was the point of hiring Todd Graham in the first place? I know he's kind of a frustrating dude, but I mean, and Herm's probably a lot more fun to interact with. But otherwise, you just did a whole bunch of nothing there. So that was the model. Like basically, hey, we know we can get Mack Brown, and gosh, if Herm can go 7-5, then we can go 7-5. So they hired him immediately. It was just so strange.
And it's not just Mack Brown in North Carolina. We've also seen Les Miles now will be back on the sidelines in Kansas. Mm-hmm. Now, Les, I know, has been screaming and yelling for a while now. Les has wanted to coach. I wasn't really sure that Mack wanted to coach, but Les wanted to be back on the sidelines. But again, are we looking at a situation where you're going to have to make another change in a couple of years, or is this the final coaching job for Les Miles?
Yeah, you would figure so. I mean, he's a little younger than Mack, but like 62, 64, something in that range. But the question for Les is just basically, can he actually move into the 2000s? Basically, like he's, as a Missouri guy, I kind of think back to Larry Smith and Gary Pinkel. Basically, before Missouri could land Gary Pinkel, they had to have Larry Smith go in there and just as a veteran spruce things up and go, okay, this is not up to speed. We got to get better here. Improve the facilities and basically lay the groundwork for the next guy to be good. And that's really, I didn't really love the hire because it did feel kind of lazy too, and I don't know why we would think he could succeed in the Big 12 at that spot. I don't know why we're setting the bar that low, but at the same time, at least it's Kansas. North Carolina doesn't really have an excuse. They're 3 years away. They're removed from winning 11 games. Like they're not moribund in the same sense that Kansas is. So I'm going to cut Kansas a little more slack in that regard.
Bill Connolly, SB Nation, joining us via the Miami Acura hotline. One other coaching of interest. Helton doesn't lose his job at USC. T. Martin does. Was T. Martin the issue at USC? Is that the issue at USC?
Well, it was an issue for sure. I mean, they were really, even last year, they were pretty disappointing compared to the talent they had. It really seemed, I was very confused because a lot of people were during the Tennessee head coaching job saying, why aren't they going after T. Martin? And it was, my initial response was because he's not very good at his current job. But that seemed to be even more demonstrative issue this year when you didn't have Sam Darnold in the backfield, you didn't have Ronald Jones. The receiving core is extremely talented, but was less experienced as well. The offensive line wasn't very good. There were a whole bunch of problems, and I think that's why we're seeing that basically Heldon's being asked to replace almost his whole staff, especially on offense. And so, there are the rumors that Cliff Kingsbury's visiting out there. He's going to have some NFL offers too. We'll see how that works, but they obviously need a giant shot in the arm, and T. Martin clearly wasn't going to provide it.
Yeah, and who impressed you the most, first-year coach across the college football landscape this year, Bill? Who stuck out to you as the guy that did the best job with what he was given?
Yeah, it was a weird year. A lot of guys started slowly and then picked up. And so you had a lot of cases like Scott Frost, who probably had his team playing the best ball of anybody in the Big Ten West by the end of the year. But then, it was still very much what you would call a year zero situation for like Chad Morris. Dan Mullen did an okay job, I would say. Not quite where they need to be yet, but they got their act together a little bit. And maybe that's the answer. Jimbo Fisher took on a really hard schedule, so it's kind of hard to evaluate exactly how well he did getting them to 8-4, but it was pretty good. So I would say probably one of those two.
All right, let's just say we're in the room, right? We're on the college football committee, and the football gods are going to be nice this year. Alabama beats Georgia, right? We've got Notre Dame. Clemson ends up, beating Pitt, and then we've got this number 4 spot. And we've got we've got Oklahoma, number 1 offense, and possibly the worst college defense we've ever seen for a big D1 school like that. And then, if Georgia keeps it close with Alabama, and then you still got Ohio State, but Ohio State lost, a 29-point loss to a 6-6 Purdue team here. How does it all play out? Which one of those 3 really is deserving of that number 4 spot?
I would say, Oklahoma, their defense truly is bad. It's worse than it was last year. It rebounded for 2 weeks when Ruffin McNeil took over, and then I think over the last month it's been worse than it was before Mike Stoops got fired. And so they're having to win games 54-48 or whatever, but guess what? They are, because they have the best offense in the country by far. I would say just knowing where the rankings stand right now, if OU beats Texas, they're almost assuredly in, unless Ohio State just erases Northwestern, which is possible, which is very possible. So if you end up in a situation where it's like a 41-38 Oklahoma win over Texas, but then 73-0 Ohio State or something, it's going to be kind of interesting, because Ohio State back in 2014 used the title game as kind of a reminder of here's what our ceiling is. Don't forget it. They showed that last week, and if they show it again, it's going to be a pretty tough call. I do think. Oklahoma is ahead right now, and I think that's absolutely deserving. Among other things, they didn't lose by 39 points to Purdue. And that's kind of that was a disqualifier. And a week ago, people were complaining about Ohio State's ranking and saying they were too high before one awesome game. So I think OU deserves to be ahead right now. I don't think Georgia would be able to stay ahead if they do lose, even if it's close. So it probably does come down to OU and Ohio State, and we'll see exactly what Ohio State can do. The longer Northwestern stays around, the more likely OU is to make it.
Bill Connolly, SB Nation, SBNation.com, joining us. All right, now let's say the football gods give everyone the middle finger, and we've got, let's say Alabama beats Georgia by 50, Northwestern beats Ohio State, Texas ends up taking down Oklahoma, and Memphis beats UCF. What are we looking at here, Bill? Are we looking at a possible 2 or 3 loss LSU team in the mix then at that point?
At that point, I have no idea what happens. It really might be an LSU. They were ahead of Michigan, right? They were or did they fall behind Michigan in the rankings? Whichever one of those is higher, maybe they. Of course, then you're looking at a team that just lost to Texas A&M or a team that just got rocked by Ohio State. So I don't really know what happens. And it might just be Georgia at that point, have an immediate rematch or something. I don't know. It is a fascinating. Now, the odds of all those things happening are obviously very small. And, really what I'm almost hoping for is a situation where all those things happen except UCF beats Memphis. And so we actually get to see, what is the ceiling in the committee's eyes? What is the ceiling for a mid-major team? Because at that point, you've got an undefeated AAC champion versus a field of 2 lost teams. And if they can't make it, then they're never going to ever choose a G5 team for the top 4. That would be, they would almost have no choice but to put them in, and they might not put them in. So we'll see.
And it'd be interesting. Of all the games that we've got this weekend, we've got a whole bunch of championship games. But some of the more intriguing ones, for instance, you got a few rematches. Fresno at Boise again. These are two schools that did battle just a couple of weeks ago. Boise State, for the first time since, the 60s or whatever it was, it felt like they were actually a home underdog. It's probably not going to be that way now. I'm looking at the line, 2.5. They'll be a 2.5-point favorite instead. But this is an intriguing matchup to me because can Boise State do it again?
Yeah, no, I mean, Fresno's very, very good. Like with using my S&P Plus rankings, they are the better team here, and it did take just a measurement, like an inch, a millimeter for them to beat Fresno State last time. So this is a good matchup. I was disappointed that Utah State kind of faded the last couple of games because as of about 3 weeks ago, they were playing like the best team in the G5, and that was going to be a really fun matchup, them versus Fresno. As it stands now, I mean, Boise's clearly good, and Utah State fell off a little bit, so we're still going to get a really good matchup. But I was kind of hoping to see what a full-strength Aggie team was going to do because they looked really, really good for a while.
Who's got the best chance at the upset here? Pitt and Clemson, Northwestern Ohio State, Georgia, Bama, or, Texas, Oklahoma? We already know what Texas did. I mean, who's got the best chance at the at an upset here?
Well, I feel this is a lazy answer. I feel it's probably Texas, but they're also the smallest underdog of the bunch. And Georgia's an interesting case right now because they really have been over the last month or so. They've been basically Alabama's equal, except they can't finish drives. Once they get inside the 10, they are the worst offense in the country, pretty much. So if they can figure out how to get the ball into the end zone when they have the chance, they're gonna be around for most of 4 quarters against Alabama. So that's going to be a really fun game. Of the two, like more dramatic upsets, the Northwestern one and the Pitt one, I've gone back and forth on that. I do think that Clemson's clearly the more consistent team than Ohio State, and Northwestern very much knows the identity it wants to establish. They're just going to play defense and hog the ball and try to just wait for you to make a mistake. So it feels like Ohio State's in pretty good. That's kind of a ripe situation for an upset if Ohio State has a letdown. But Pitt's just weird. Pitt has just been this giant wild card all year. So you figure in a game like this, you want a wild card that can do something spectacular or lose 73-0. And I think Pitt's the team for exactly that.
Pitt is definitely can definitely be the team there. I think it'll be interesting in the Oklahoma-Texas game. The thing that Texas does very well, which allowed them to win the first time, was they have ball control. They will be able to sustain drives. If they can sustain more drives and keep that offense on the sideline, then there's a good chance they have, they can actually win this again. And then you almost can't forget about Texas if all hell breaks loose too, because you're not once but twice ending up beating Oklahoma, so you don't know where they're going to lie. The whole thing is just, once again, it comes down to the end of the year, and are we, Bill, in a couple of weeks, are we going to be screaming for an 18 playoff again?
Well, we always do. That's always the result no matter what actually happens. So I figure that's going to be the case. But, I mean, especially if UCF finishes undefeated again but still finishes like 7th, then, yeah, we either need an 18 playoff or we need to just separate the G5 away because they've basically been separated already. So that's the thing I'm most interested in, I think.
And what is it? I mean, Bill, you tell us, man, because I've been going back and forth with this. Do we want, do we want as fans, as college football fans, do we want the 4 best or the 4 most deserving? Which ones do we want?
I feel like, it's more fair to do the most deserving because, we tend to start thinking of teams like the quote-unquote best teams as the ones who played really well the last couple of weeks, and we start to ignore things like Ohio State getting absolutely crushed by Purdue and trying to lose to Maryland. Right. Suddenly they're only the team that crushed Michigan, and that's unfair to the teams that have been far more consistent over the course of the year. So I think it is a different answer. I think most deserving is more fair, and I think we want to see best because we want to see the best teams the way they were at the end of the year hitting the postseason, and so that's always going to be a little bit of a tension there, I think.
Yeah, recency bias is always a hard thing, especially with fans, because they always think the most recent thing that happened is they're the greatest. Ohio State, nobody can beat them right now. Well, we'll see what happens against Northwestern. All right, Bill Connolly, SBNation.com. Bill, tell us about the podcast. Tell us about what's going on with you.
Well, we do have, we're still doing 2 to 3 shows a week of podcast. Ain't Played Nobody. If you want a lot more thoughts on, or a lot more of my thoughts on Mac Brown, listen to yesterday's episode. But you can find that on iTunes or my Twitter account or wherever. And then, the content is flowing at SB Nation right now for sure. This is the time of the year, especially with a kind of a boring season like we've had to a certain degree. Now we actually have stuff to talk about, so we're talking about it.
Yeah, amen. Bill Connolly, SBNation.com. Follow him at SB ESPN_Bill C on Twitter, one of the best Twitter follows there is. Bill, thank you for your time, my friend. We'll do this again soon.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, Bill Connolly, guys, a lot of fun. Always a pleasure every time we get to talk some college football with Bill. Honestly, one of the best analytical guys around, and his S&P indexes, guys, during the season, it's just straight up fire. It really is. One of the most intelligent. I don't know how he's got a life. With the way he crunches those numbers are just are out of control. But make sure you guys follow him because he's got a lot of great things to say, and he knows his college football. And speaking of knows, I want to welcome in our lunatics that are gathering up in the chat rooms here. He's still 77. Mr. Scrunt is in the house. Count Dracula joining us via Twitch. Vari hanging out on Facebook along with Dakota Ann. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. Thank you very much for making us a part of your day. Don't forget, we stream across all of these platforms here: Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and your support is much appreciated, and we need it, guys, because we try to bring you the best of the best here on the show. Not only the best when it comes to guys who cover the sports, the reporters, guys like Bill Connolly from SB Nation, but also the best of the best when it comes to the professional sports handicappers, because many of you know this is an industry that, unfortunately, not a whole lot of regulation, and if you hang out on Twitter long enough, everybody's a professional sports handicapper. It's amazing. It really is, right? Everybody's amazing. Cough button there, I'm sorry. But you guys will notice that not everyone is a professional sports handicapper. Not everyone knows what the hell they're talking about. And we try to cut through all that clutter, and we try to bring here on the show to you guys a very reliable show, a show that you are guaranteed to hear from the best of the best on the reporting side and the best of the best from the sports handicapping side. And I think we do a pretty good job of that. So if you guys support us on social media, really, that's how it works. If you retweet, if you follow us, if you subscribe on YouTube, if you follow us on Twitch and on Facebook, it really does mean the world to us, guys. We put a lot of time and effort into this, and we do it so you guys don't have to worry about getting scammed, and you've got one place you know that you can trust, that you can come. And the information that we provide you guys is coming from reliable, dependable, transparent sources, and that's what we're trying to do here. Rawhide bringing it in. Rawhide, good to see you on Twitter. Joe, there is only one Tomcat in this grouping. That is absolutely the truth there, my friend. So true. Good to see you, Rawhide. Thank you very much for stopping by and making us a part of your day. So go ahead, like, retweet, please subscribe. Go ahead, come back and join us. Tell your friends, tell the creepy dude in the cubicle behind you. You know, make sure you're still in the corporate time anyway, like our friend Count Dracula on Twitch. You're still in that corporate time, which is why we love you at this time of the day. All right, we still got plenty to get to, including your TrendyBets.com NBA play of the day. That's going to come up here just after the top of the hour. The captain will be by, our good friend, Captain_Capping on Twitter. Talk about a dude that's had one hell of a month in November. He has been straight up fire there, guys. He's got a college basketball play of the night that he wants to share with you, so we'll get his thoughts on that. He also loves MAC. He loves MAC action. He's got some thoughts on the NIU taking on Buffalo MAC championship happening Friday night. Can you believe it? Buffalo NIU. We'll get his thoughts on there. But maybe the most important interview that we are going to do in a very, very long time is coming up here with Lawrence Presman. We call him the Prez. He is the co-founder of WagerTalk.com. You guys know how much we love our friends at WagerTalk.com. And the reason we love them is because we can depend on them. It is a roster, and it is a group filled with nothing but the best of the best from around the country, which is why we associate with them and which is why we bring them here on the show. We are going to talk to the Prez here in a couple of minutes because he's got some of the most important, valuable betting advice that there is that, unfortunately, more people don't know but need to know about. And those of you that maybe have been betting for a while, you need to hear it. And it's going to be straight up real is what we're going to do here. And he's going to help deliver the State of the Union address on the Joe Ranieri Show. The Prez is going to bring the heat here, people. So I hope you guys are ready. Sit down, take some notes, sharpen that number 2 pencil, because it's about to get real here with the Prez from wagertalk.com. We're going to do that right after we thank a few of our sponsors who make this happen. Of course, Miami Acura, 16601 South Dixie Highway. If a new car is in the holiday plans, okay, don't do nothing before you go to miamiacura.com. If you're in the 305, pretty simple. Just head over to South Dixie Highway. If you're outside of the 305, go to miamiacura.com or call them at 855-564-4669. Get the deal right now. We don't know if we're ever going to see deals like this again, but I can tell you at the end of the year, while it's happening, there are cars upon cars upon cars that are being driven off that lot, brand new cars, certified pre-owned cars, and the best part is that the deals that we've never seen all year long, but it's happening now, so do yourself a favor. Get it while you can. South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay. That is Miami Acura. Visit them at miamiacura.com or call them at 855-564-4669. Just a reminder, too, our good friends over at Halftime Magic. Let's put that up on the board here. Giving you an opportunity to be eligible to win a free day of plays from halftimemagic.com. That is the halftimemagic.com text line. You use it, you participate in the show, you give yourself a chance at a free day's worth of plays, courtesy of Scott and the fellas at halftimemagic.com. And I can tell you right now, this is a group that you definitely want to be following on Twitter. But there it is, 305-791-3839. The question I'm asking you here is who are your 4, when it's all said and done, after this week, who are the 4 teams playing for a national championship in college football? Who is it? Who do you got? I want to send already. A bunch of you have sent in some very, very interesting choices for that number 4 pick. So I want to see exactly who you got. 305-791-3839. And it's easy to tell who the Ohio State fans are, by the way, because I've already gotten a few texts that have come in that have Ohio State listed as number 1. Can you believe that? Of all the Ohio State is number 1. Do you think they're Ohio State fans? But go ahead and share it with us. 305-791-3839. Give yourself a chance to be eligible to win a free day of plays from halftimemagic.com simply for participating here in the show. So write that number down. Go ahead. Send us your thoughts. Top 4 teams, college football playoff. Who are they going to be? And coming up here in just about 93 seconds, we're going to go ahead and hear from the Prez, wagertalk.com, on one of the most valuable and important pieces of betting information you will ever hear, and you're going to hear it here on the Joe Ranieri Show. So get ready for it. I'm telling you, you better be sitting down. You better take notes, because this is the kind of information that will make you a ton of money this year. But you got to be ready to hear it. It's coming up here, 93 seconds. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's the Joe Ranieri Show.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. That's 800-293-0328.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. That's 800-761-1427.
Get ready to talk sports. It's the Say It With Me podcast. Now here's your host, Joe Ranieri.
Welcome back in. Thank you very much for making us a part of your day. I want to thank Bill Connolly, SBNation.com, for dropping by. Great interview there. Not a big fan of the Mac Brown hiring at North Carolina, to say the least. Kind of doesn't make any sense. Why would you hire a 67-year-old guy who he's only going to coach for a couple of years, and then you got to hire somebody else in another few years? So the whole thing doesn't quite make any sense. But best of luck to the North Carolina Tar Heels there. You can read more about Bill's thoughts, and he's got plenty of them on Mac Brown by heading over to SBN_Bill C, SBNation.com, college football. Thank him very much for stopping by. All right, before we get to the Prez here from wagertalk.com, want to go ahead and provide you today's NBA play of the day. The free play of the day brought to you by, where it is, there it is, our good friends at trendybets.com. Trendybets.com, not only just free NBA plays, but college basketball plays and college football and NBA. They've got everything for you just at the click of a button. Head over to trendybets.com, okay, and they have been on fire with their NBA plays. I'm not going to lie here, guys. They're 8 out of the last 12. I think here on the show with the free plays, they would have had another one last night if the Lakers didn't look like a high school team. The Lakers only scored 14 points in the final period last night. They would have had a chance of actually really going way over the over, except for the fact that they only scored 14 and couldn't hit a three to save their life. So unfortunately, didn't hit last night. But don't you worry about it; it's going to hit tonight. So let's take a look at the trendybets.com play of the day in the NBA. And tonight we are looking at the Suns at the Clippers. The Suns at the Clippers. Here's what we know. Clippers minus 12 right now, total 229. Here's what the Trendy Bets stats are. Over 4-1 in the Suns' last 5 road games. Also over 9-3 in the Suns' last 12 games, playing on 0 days rest, back-to-back here for them. Over 7-1 in the Clippers' last 8 overall. Also over 7-3-1 in the Clippers' last 11 home games versus a team with a losing road record. When you put all of it together, your trendybets.com free NBA play of the day, the over 229. That's right, over 229, Suns at the Clippers. Make sure you guys head over to trendybets.com and check out their other free plays of the day. You're going to love them. We love them on this show. These are quality dudes. They are new on the scene, but I can tell you guys, under the radar, they are the real deal. Real gentlemen, real professionals. Also, the best part about them, and you know we talk about this on the show, transparency. These guys are totally transparent, and they've got a list of all their plays for you. You can see it, and you can also check the shows here each and every day. They provide us with one of their free NBA plays of the day. You guys do not want to miss that. But coming up, we've got the Prez. WagerTalk.com. I hope you're sitting down because this is going to be one of the most important interviews you ever hear about sports betting. Hey, guys, happy, what the hell's today? Wednesday. Wednesday it is. Welcome in. It's another edition of the Joe Ranieri Show. Joining us on the line, we are always blessed when this man decides to come on the phone with us. We love having him. He is the man or half the man responsible for WagerTalk.com. We love every time he comes on. He's known as the Prez, Lawrence Presman. Lawrence, welcome into the show, my man. Are you feeling better? Last time we had you on, you weren't feeling great.
I'm rocking and rolling. I just spent a week in Vegas, and I'm wondering which half of me was the co-founder of Wager Talk.
Wait, that's a good point. The better half, my friend. The better half.
So my bottom.
Yeah, exactly correct. All right, I want to talk to you about a whole bunch of stuff, but let's start in Vegas first and foremost because I was following you on Twitter, and if you guys haven't, follow him on Twitter, @PrezWagerTalk. It's a great follow. And your trip, it looked exciting in Vegas. Tell us what happened, man.
You know, Joe, I played a lot of poker. Actually, too much poker. Too many tournaments because I sucked. And I literally went from one tournament to the other. Man, I am the poker gods have not been kind to me since February of last year. Of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, I have been knocked out of 8 of the last 12 tournaments holding pocket aces. It all begun on a triple up, ace-ace to ace-king to king-king, and the case-king hits the river, and on and on and on and on and on. But you know what, honestly, Joe, as I say to people at the poker table, I'm lucky in life. If I'm not lucky in poker, so be it. I play a lot of cards, though, and I'm a good poker player, and there's a huge variance, and this stuff happens. But the highlight of my trip, Joe, I went to the Vegas night San Jose game with the great Dave Williams, one of the best poker players in the world, and a master chef, and Daniel Negreanu. And then after the game, we all went out for dinner. And, I mean, basically it was 2 poker legends and the Prez. And it was a hell of a fun night. And I have never met anyone who talks more than Daniel Negreanu. Like, it's actually unbelievable.
He can shoot the shit, huh, man? He just keeps going and going and going. Does he do that at the poker table too when he plays?
Oh yeah, he's the most talkative poker player you've ever seen, but it's nothing compared to being at a dinner table with him. But what a nice guy. But Dave Williams is truly the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Just unbelievable. Now, unbelievable guy.
Talk to us a little bit about those that might actually head to Vegas and want to get into the poker rooms and want to sit down at a table. What advice would you have for the novices that want to go into these rooms and sit down there? Do you have any advice for them? Some of the things they should look for and look out from?
You know, I'll tell you, it's a great question. And the biggest piece of advice I would have to novices, and it's not about novices, Joe. It's more about fair weather players, home players. You know, no novices are going to sit at a table in Vegas. It's the home player. And my biggest advice to them would be go in there expecting to lose your money and play aggressive. Because if you go in with that mindset, good things are going to happen. But if you sit at that table waiting for cards, you are done. You will just be picked off, and you will end up eating dinner at a very inexpensive restaurant within 2 hours. Expect to lose and push, push, push. Always put your opponent to the test. And only good things can happen. Low expectations, all up from there.
Yes, but don't be intimidated. I mean, all the poker rooms, and maybe you can name a couple of anybody that will be in Vegas or is planning on going. Are there a couple of casinos or poker rooms people should take a look at before others?
Well, look, I mean, if you're a home player or an amateur player, as they say, stay as far away from the Aria as possible.
Oh, okay.
Stay away from the Wynn. Stay away from Bellagio. Camp yourself out at Harrah's or Bally's and play against other amateurs and enjoy your time there. But if you go into the Aria poker room as a home player, take a whole lot of money and expect to leave with none of it.
Great advice. Lawrence Presman joining us, wagertalk.com. Make sure that you guys head over to wagertalk.com. It's that kind of advice we're talking about. That's the kind of advice that you get at wagertalk.com. Free advice, the advice that makes you a better handicapper, a better gambler. That's why we love talking to him, and that's what we want to talk about a little bit today too, Prez, is last time we spoke, we talked about the problems with sports bettors, certainly the ones that are just starting out, is that they don't know how to bet. They have no problem betting, but they don't know how to bet. So kind of walk us through what you meant when you said we've got to teach people, man, what they've got to do in order to be. You got to learn how to bet before you can become a good bettor.
Okay, well, Joe, let's talk about three things that really stand out. Now, look, I could talk to you about 20 things. I could write a book about how to bet. But for the sake of brevity, let's really focus on the three biggest mistakes that amateur bettors make. The first one is you have to know your bankroll going into a season of betting. You can't be one of these people who just randomly decides, I'm going to put $100 on a game, I'm going to put $500 on a game, and have it not up against a certain number. What you want to be doing is you want to be betting a percentage of your bankroll, and it's so crucial that people understand that. If you go into the NFL season with $1,000 in your bankroll, now you know the number that you can afford to lose, $1,000, and you should be betting roughly 3 to 4% of that bankroll on every single play. So that would be $30 or $40 against a $1,000 bankroll. And the reason you bet a percentage, Joe, is because as you win, the bet size will automatically increase. So if you have an $1,100 bankroll, you're now betting $33 a play or $44 a play, rather than when you had a $1,000 bankroll, you were betting $30 a play. The reason for that is it takes into account exponential growth. Just like if you put your money in an interest fund, you make interest on interest.
Right.
So as you build your bankroll, your bet sizes will slowly increase. So if you actually get the opportunity to go on a 20-5 run, betting a percentage of your bankroll, what will happen is you will actually give yourself at least one extra winner for free.
Wow.
Just by increasing your bankroll, your 20-5 run is actually 21-5 or 22-5 because you've increased your dollar amount every single game, but you've never increased the percentage. But the best part about it is on the losing streaks. Mm-hmm. As you go on a 5-15, 5-20 losing streak, if you continue to bet a percentage of your bankroll, you never run out of money because your bet sizes will decrease. So if you go on a 5-20 run, which happens, Joe, that 5-20 run actually is only around 5-18. So you save 2 losses because your bet sizing decreases. I don't know what the opposite word of exponential is, de-exponential, whatever it happens to be. But that is how you take advantage and maximize your great runs and how you control and mitigate your bad runs. Know how much money you have at the beginning of a season and bet 3 to 4% of your bankroll on every single play. The second most important thing, actually the number one most important thing, period.
Well, hold on. Before you get to that, let's go ahead. Let's just recap. If you guys are just joining us, Lawrence Presman, the Prez, wagertalk.com, is joining us. We are talking about being a smart bettor, learning how to bet. If you're going to get into sports betting, if you're going to be a sports bettor, then you have to understand how to bet. Otherwise, what the Prez is talking about is you're going to be out of money before you know what to do, because far too many people don't understand how to bet. They want to bet, they just don't understand how to. And his point and lesson number one is that however much money that you are working with, you consistently figure out what that percentage of the bet is going to be of that bankroll. That is how much you bet, and you play through. As you make money, your bets will automatically go up because you keep the percentage the same. If you lose money, you're going to be betting less because your percentage stays the same. So ultimately, figure out what percentage, stay consistent, and the bets will go up naturally with that percentage when you win more, and it'll go down when you lose more. Now, give us the most important part. I love this. Number 2, Prez.
Okay, look. Number 2 is complete and total common sense. Don't do parlays. I mean, Joe, explain to me in what world in a 3-hour period is 91% return on your money not good enough?
Explain that, though, to the listeners, Prez, that don't understand what you mean with 91%.
Well, 90%. If you bet $110 to win $100, that's 91%. Mm-hmm. In what Warren Buffett would lose his shit making 90% on his money in a year. You can make 90% on your money in a 3-hour game, and it's not good enough for you?
Yep.
Kate Upton would take her top off for 90%.
Yeah.
And by the way, that would be well worth
the
90%.
You're damn right it would.
It absolutely baffles me that these people put down 3-team parlays to try to get 600% on their money when they could get 90% on their money winning one game. But the bottom line, Joe, is that the books make all their money on parlays. I mean, literally, if people didn't bet parlays, the books would go broke. And that should explain to everybody the stupidity of a parlay. I want to explain some quick math. A 3-team parlay is the closest parlay to pure odds.
Okay.
It pays 6-1. What are the real odds of a 3-team parlay? 8-1.
Ah.
8. So if you don't get 8-1 on a 3-team parlay, you are literally handing the book money. A two-team parlay is the single worst bet. A two-team parlay pays 2.6 to 1. What are the pure odds of a two-team parlay? 4 to 1.
Oh, man.
So, Joe, I have a solution. I understand that these guys out there do not appreciate 91% return on their money.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that they jones for a three-team parlay, that they shake if they don't play a three-team parlay. I get it. So what advice do I give these guys who cannot help themselves, who have to play a three-team parlay? Easy. Make it an if bet.
Ooh.
An if bet, so everybody understands, an if bet is if I put $100 on game 1
mm-hmm.
and it wins, roll that money to game 2. So now I have $200 on game 2. If I win that game, roll that money onto game 3. It still works out exactly the same way as a parlay because you need all 3 teams to win.
Yep.
But if you do an if bet, you actually get paid 8 to 1.
There you go.
So Joe, do the math. You do a parlay at $100, you win it, you make $600.
Yes.
If you do an if bet, you do $100, you win it, you're now at $200.
Mm-hmm.
You put $200 on the second game, you win it, you're now at $400. You put $400 on the third game, you win it, and what do you have?
Just doubled it again.
$800.
That's right.
Why would anybody take a 3-team parlay that pays them 6 to 1 when they can take the exact same bet and just make it an if bet and it'll pay 8 to 1, which is the pure odds of a 3-team parlay.
That's exactly the kind of information, guys, that we're talking about that you need to have. Those of you that are listening, that are watching, that are interested in getting into sports betting because it's becoming legal in your state, you are hearing from a man, the one of the founders of WagerTalk.com, a professional. This is what you call a professional sports bettor here, guys, okay? So when he tells you, stay away from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-team parlays, they're nothing but a sucker bet, he's telling you from experience, and now he's giving you a better alternative. He's telling you that if you got to do it, if you're jonesing, if you're itching and you got to do it, then do it with an if bet, which basically says if you win game 1, you roll it over into game 2, you roll it over into game 3, and then you're actually putting the odds in your favor as opposed to the 6 to 1 odds that you're getting at the books right now, where the book makes all the money. Prez, right?
Exactly, Joe. And the thing about an if bet is you can still take all 3 games that start at the same time. You know, your listeners might be thinking, do I have to win the first one to roll it into the second? No. You can still take all the 3 1 p.m. Sunday games and still run them at an if bet. But 2 quick points to finish up our betting 101, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Do not use a local bookie.
Mm.
If you use a local bookie, 3 bad things will happen. The first one is you will not be able to do an if bet because they won't take them. The second one is you are betting on credit. If betting on credit is not one of the greatest oxymorons, I don't know what is. I mean, who the hell bets on credit? And the third, I'll let you have your moment.
I'm just laughing because you're so right about that. You're absolutely correct, and we all know those guys too, Prez. We all know those guys.
Yeah, and the third reason not to use a local bookie is you're not going to get the lines. You're not going to get what you need. These lines are important, Joe. If a game is minus 6.5 and your bookie has it at 7, that's an 8% difference. 8%. You will lose 8% of the games you play if you don't get 6.5.
Yep.
My last message to your listeners, Joe, and this is the most, other than the parlays, this is the most common mistake in betting. Do not, at any number, buy half a point.
Ooh.
Do you know how many people look at a number and say, minus 3.5? You know, Carolina this Sunday is minus 3.5 against Tampa Bay. I'm going to buy that number down to 3. Joe.
Don't do it.
You are paying 20% of your money to buy that number down to 3. Ask yourself, do 20% of games that are at a 3.5 require you to buy that number down to 3? In other words, do 2 out of 10 games that are 3.5 land exactly on 3?
And the answer?
Not even close. The answer is slightly under 8% on the number 3, around 8% on the number 7, and in the 2% on the number 10.5.
Wow.
Everything else is completely useless. So if you want to give away 12% of your money for no reason, I have a P.O. box that you can just send it to.
And he's not kidding here, folks, because basically what you're doing is you're opening up the window and you are throwing your money out it. And that's not what we want you to do here, and that's certainly not what they are hoping you do at Wager Talk. If you head over to wagertalk.com right now, you will find guys like the Prez there. You will find a whole roster of some of the best sports professional handicappers in the business that will not be buying half a points. They won't be telling you to play parlays. They'll be doing exactly what professional handicappers do, and that is putting you in a position to be profitable as a sports gambler. And exactly what the Prez just talked about is exactly what many of you have either already done, and let's be realistic, you've either already been there buying that half a point, or you've gone ahead and you've bought the parlays before, you've dabbled in them, and you've never even considered the if bet. That is why it pays for you guys to head over and to use the knowledge and the experience that the guys at wagertalk.com have. I've been telling you this from day one here, guys. It's okay if you don't know. You're not supposed to know right off the bat, but this is where you enlist the help of guys like Lawrence Presman, the Prez at wagertalk.com, like Ralph Michaels, who we have here on the show. These are the guys that'll help you become better bettors, and that ultimately is what it's all about at the end, Prez, right? Being a better, smarter, better.
Well, it just makes the whole process more enjoyable as well. I mean, look, most bettors out there are playing with disposable income, thank God. And, you know, it's literally the equivalent of going to a really bad movie or a really good movie with your disposable income.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to say this. Ralph Michaels' college basketball is ridiculous. If any of your listeners want to make some free money this year, that's what they should be playing.
Yep.
Ralph Michaels' college basketball. I mean, he is an absolute god in that sport. Probably the best college basketball expert betting-wise in the world. And we're lucky to have him at wagertalk.com. Joe, I love what we spoke about today. I know that nobody will listen anyway, but look, you just got to keep telling them, right? Like, you just got to keep harping on the same message over and over again. until it gets through. But the bottom line is never look at betting as a single game. Oh, Prez, you're such an idiot. I bought half a point last week and it saved me $100. Okay, good. Guess what? 8 out of 100 times, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Last week was one of them. But you've got to look at this whole thing from a mathematical perspective. Let's wrap this up by talking about poker.
Ooh.
Everything is math. You know, you have a 12% chance of flopping a flush if you're holding, 12% chance of flopping a set if you're holding a pair.
Okay.
Does that mean that when you're holding a pair of eights, you sit there and you say to yourself, I feel it, man. I feel an 8, baby. I feel an 8. This is the time. No. What you have to do is you have to add what the amount of money up in the pot, and you have to realize that if you're getting more than 12 to 1 on your money, it's worth making the call on a large bet, but you have to do it every time. Every time. If you don't do it every time, the math will not work itself out.
Yep.
It's the same with sports betting. Never buy a half a point. Ever, ever, ever. So either always call with a pair with a big amount of money in the pot, or never call with a pair with a big amount of money in the pot. But allow the math to work itself out.
I just so well said. I can't even. Lawrence Presman, wagertalk.com. If you guys haven't been convinced already, I mean, just do it. We harp on it on the show here all the time. Let the professionals help you guys become better bettors, and you do that by heading to wagertalk.com, and you sign up with guys like the Prez, like Ralph Michaels. As a matter of fact, and hats off to you, Prez, because the roster of guys that you have are phenomenal. We brought in Brad Cannon, who is your golf analyst. We brought him
in
my
God, he's
on
incredible.
the show. He's incredible. And we brought him on the show to talk about Tiger and Phil. And one of the things that he told our listeners, I had asked him if there was one prop bet that he liked better than others. And he said, there's a lot of them on the board, but the one that I would absolutely go after is the fact of these guys playing extra holes. And he went through the reasons why, and wouldn't you know it, at plus 750, he nailed it. It went 22 damn holes, and of all the bets he could have chose, he chose the one that goes extra holes, and that's the kind of knowledge I'm talking about, and that's the kind of roster of guys you have at wagertalk.com. So kudos to you, Prez, for rostering a team like that.
Thanks, my friend. And listen, I got a great UFC guy, too. Like, phenomenal. Roughly 80% right on his picks.
Damn.
Playing short favorites. So if you ever need to talk UFC, I got an outstanding UFC expert. But the bottom line, Joe, honestly, is our guys, you know, it's not – look, you have to have a feel. You know, like poker – you have to have a feel for when someone is bluffing, or when you can get someone to lay their cards down. You have to have a feel in sports betting, but when push comes to shove, it's all about hard work. Ralph Michaels spends close to 10 hours a day in November studying games. What regular bettor does that? They just look at a game and say, oh, Chicago's better than the New York Giants. We'll take Chicago. I mean, really? Like, the bookmakers are not familiar with that?
Yep. No.
So, you know, I mean.
And that's what it takes. And it's so hard to, Prez, we preach that on the show all the time, is that let these guys, let the Prez, let Ralph Michaels, let Brad, let Kelly, let all of these people do the legwork for you. You guys have jobs. You enjoy betting on sports. they're doing the legwork. Take their knowledge and utilize it. You guys make the plays, use their knowledge, become betters, and that's it. And at the end of the year, you'll have more in your bankroll than when you started, and then you can, keep us in mind when Christmas rolls around. That's all, Prez. But you got to be smart about it, and it starts with knowing your limitations, and it starts with knowing where you can go with guys you can trust. And I'm telling you right now, you can trust WagerTalk.com.
Absolutely. And Joe, just to end the segment, if these guys have been betting every one of my plays, if they've been betting 3-4%, as I told you at the beginning of the show, since January 1st of last year, and we're now entering December, they would be up 200% on their bankroll. Warren Buffett couldn't do that if you gave him stock information that you knew from the future.
Now, we've got to ask you a question here before we let you go. The Prez joining us, WagerTalk.com. There is a nasty rumor floating around on social media that the presidential address that you do with Kelly in Vegas, Kelly Stewart, each and every week, which, guys, is fantastic. Head over to the Wager Talk YouTube page. Check this out. It's hilarious. But there is some rumor that the picks that you give on that show are really Kelly's picks. She's kind of sliding them to you, making sure that you understand what games to pick. Is there any truth to that? Is she puppeting? Is she a puppeteer?
I'm the puppet. Are you kidding? I mean, come on. You've listened to me for half an hour. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm lucky that Kelly, not only does she send me every pick ahead of time, she actually writes every word that I have to say. You know what, Joe? As your listeners know, this is the 8th take of this call. I mean, we went through it this morning when you did it with Kelly. I taped that call and literally regurgitated it.
Yep.
All I am is a mouthpiece, brother.
That's it. That is it. But do yourself a favor and check it out, because it's one of the most entertaining and insightful bits that you guys will see. They do it every week.
You know what, Joe? It's probably the most watched sports handicapping show on YouTube. And the thing about it is, it's more than anything else, what I take most pride in over the presidential NFL report is it's bloody entertaining. And it's hard to be entertaining in this industry, because this industry is so steeped in statistics and trends and analysis and systems and angles. And, my show is close to 40 minutes long every week. And I mean, if it wasn't entertaining, if it wasn't what I call infotainment, there's no chance you can get through 40 minutes of boring statistics. I think everybody should head over and listen to it. It's honestly an incredible watch. And on top of it all, you get to stare at Kelly for 40 minutes. Hello.
Yep.
Last week I even made her stand up so that they could see her entire physique, and I got her to put her legs on the desk.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah. Listen, you know what? But you were able to do that, which is why you need to head over to WagerTalk.com, especially the YouTube page. Make sure you guys follow the YouTube page. You'll love the content there. When do you put that out? Every Tuesday? Is that when that show goes out?
Yeah, every Tuesday late afternoon. The show has been up for 20 hours and already has 8,000 views.
Yes.
And the other thing, Joe, is I respond to every single comment. Hundreds and hundreds of comments are put up. Some extremely negative, like I'm a moron and a loser, ugly, punchable face, twit, hate the Bears, whatever. I respond to it all.
He doesn't run from anything. That's why we love it, and that's why we love when every time he comes on the show here. Lawrence Presman, WagerTalk.com. Do yourself the biggest favor. Give yourself the biggest gift this holiday season by heading over to WagerTalk.com. Go through the roster of handicappers. Go to Ralph Michaels. Go to the Prez. Check out what's going on there. Marco, Brian Len. I mean, the list goes on. These are the best the industry has to offer. Utilize them. And my friend, thank you so very much for taking some time hanging out with us, educating us here today on how to be a better gambler. We thank you, brother, and I look forward to doing this again soon.
You're the best, dude. Anytime you need me, I'm here. Be well and take care of yourself. Best of luck for this week in NFL.
Amen, brother. Amen. Lawrence Presman, WagerTalk.com. Make sure you guys head over there right now. He's always just one of the craziest dudes, too. Every time we get a chance to talk to him, he's just nuts. And we love every time he comes here on the show. But make sure you guys head over to WagerTalk.com. The roster is really, it's one of the best around, which is why we have them on the show. And if you are just joining us, welcome in. That was a clinic there on, and I can already see by some of the comments that we're getting in the chat rooms here today that is a lesson, and that was some information that bettors need to know. Even if you're somebody that has been betting for a while, the list of things that the Prez just went through, many of you I'm hearing, you didn't even realize what an if bet is. A lot of you are exactly that person. You're doing those 3, 4, 5, 6 teamers and parlays, and you can't figure out exactly why it is that you're only hitting 4 out of 5 or 3 out of the 6, and you're like, God damn, what's going on? Well, what's going on is you're making the sports books all the money. There are two, and this was also great information, there are 2 areas that casinos make the most money in. You ready? Number 1, slots, and how many of you win at slots on a regular basis? Okay? The second is parlay bettors in the sports book, because the odds are never in your favor. The variables come into play. The odds go down the more teams that you try and be. I mean, yes, you may think like, well, the payouts are bigger. Sure, but the chance of you actually winning are a hell of a lot less. And his suggestion was, if you're going to be playing parlays, play if bets. And I can see the reaction online by Vari and Daniel and Steven and Phil and a few other of you guys that all went, what the hell's an if bet? And that's what I'm talking about. Knowledge is power here, guys. It's all about becoming a better bettor, okay? It's not about doing the same old, or think that you're beating the system. No, it's about being a smarter bettor, which will make you a more profitable bettor in the long run. And that is what we're doing here on the show. We are trying to bring you as much knowledge as possible from the industry's best. That's who you're going to get from on this show. That's who you're going to hear from on this show. And that's exactly why we brought somebody like the Prez on there to kind of lay it out. It's not something that everyone wants to hear, but the bottom line is it's something everybody needs to hear, because you love playing your parlays, but you know what? You also love giving money to the sports books, because that's exactly what you are doing. So become a smarter bettor. You'll become a more profitable person in the long run, and that's what we hope to do here on this show by also bringing our good friends from TrendyBets.com. If you're just joining us, don't forget TrendyBets.com. Make sure you head over there. Their free plays of the day. If you didn't get it, here it is. Their NBA play of the day, Suns at Clippers. They like the over in this game, 229. Clippers are laying 12 in this game, total 229. Your TrendyBets.com. NBA free play of the day is over. Take the over 229 in this game, and we want to thank TrendyBets.com. They represent each and every day here on the show. They provide that free NBA play of the day, 8 out of the last 12. So there has been some money to have been made. So keep it going. Over 229 tonight, Suns at the Clippers. So we certainly want to appreciate and thank them very much. We got the man coming, the captain. Yes, the captain is on his way. He's got a college basketball play of the night that he wants to tell you about, and we want to hear from him. It's been a little while since he's been on the show. Captain_capping is where you will find him on Twitter. One of the really, really good stand-up guys, one of these under-the-radar guys, cappers that You probably don't know about it. You probably haven't heard, but it doesn't make him any less of a stand-up individual and a quality capper who earlier this month went on like a 22-4 run. He was unbelievable, and he has very smart, very intelligent handicapping picks, and he's going to tell you about one of them coming up here in just a minute. But we do want to remind you about our good friends at Miami Acura. Why? Well, 'tis the season. 'Tis the season to get the best deal on a car that you've ever seen, including the 2019 RDX. If you are in the market for a new car, a certified pre-owned car this holiday season, don't do anything before you head to MiamiAcura.com. If you're in the 305, head over to South Dixie Highway. Check out the deals they got going on right now. Unbelievable. Or call 855-564-4669. That's 855-564-4669. I'm telling you, take a test drive. That all-new 2019 RDX. It, like, drives itself. It's like driving in your living room. It's an amazing ride, but maybe the most amazing part of it is the prices right now. They don't know how long they're going to last, so if a car is in your future, make it one from Miami Acura. Head over there, MiamiAcura.com. Also want to remind you today, our good friends at HalftimeMagic.com offering you a free day of plays. That's right. You can be eligible to win a free day of plays from HalftimeMagic.com, one of the most unique and hottest ways of looking at betting on sports. If you're kind of new to it, you're like, what the hell is Halftime Magic? It's kind of one of the coolest things that you will ever see. It gives you an opportunity to bet just the half times of games, the second half of games. Take the data and the analysis from the first half, utilize it on the lines, the soft lines in the second half, and profit. That's basically rinse, repeat. That's what they do at Halftime Magic. Check them out, halftimemagic.com. Or if you'd like a free day of plays from Halftime Magic and make yourself eligible to win that, all you got to do is text the show at 305-791-3839. The number is right there, 791-3839. Tell us your four. Who is going to the college football playoffs? Who is it? What are the top four teams? Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Oklahoma? Or is Ohio State in there? Or do you think it's all going to get blown up and we might see a 3-loss LSU team? Who do you got? All right, we want to know who you think the four teams playing for a national championship after the games are played this week. Who do you think is in there? And for participating and engaging us here on the show, we give you an opportunity to get a free day of plays from HalftimeMagic.com. So take advantage of that. Do that right now. 305-791-3839. Tell us who you think is going to be in the college football playoff. And coming up here in 90 seconds, you, in fact, will hear from the man himself. We are talking about the captain. Captain_capping has a college basketball play you are not going to want to miss. You will hear what that is and why that is. That's coming up here. 90 seconds. Don't go nowhere. It's the Joe Ranieri Show.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest-rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-901-5536. 800-901-5536. 800-901-5536. That's 800-901-5536.
Were you scammed into signing a timeshare contract? And did you miss the part that said you have to pay for your great idea? Not only for the rest of your life, but when you're not here anymore, you get to pass this turkey onto your family for them to pay for the rest of their lives. Thanks, Dad. Don't burden your family down the road and don't be stuck with expensive timeshare payments forever. Get out of your bad idea timeshare contract guaranteed or pay nothing. Call Resort Release today and learn for free how their timeshare Timeshare Exit Team can help you legally exit your timeshare contract. They've helped thousands of people, and they're A+ rated with a BBB. So if you feel scammed, get mad and get out of your expensive timeshare contract right now, guaranteed. Call NOW.
800-898-0816. 800-898-0816. 800-898-0816. That's 800-898-0816.
Back pain doesn't take vacations. It never celebrates holidays. It's on the job 24/7 to keep your life exactly where it is, in limbo. But it doesn't have to be that way, because Laser Spine Institute can help you take back your life from chronic neck and back pain. With a less than 1-inch incision, our minimally invasive procedures have provided relief to over 60,000 patients with a 97% patient satisfaction rate. So get ready to stand tall and live the life you've imagined for yourself without pain. Are you or a loved one suffering from a bulging disc, herniated disc, spinal stenosis, pinched nerve, or degenerative disc disease? Call our spine care consultants now for a no-cost MRI review and to learn more. It's time to say goodbye to chronic neck and back pain. What have you got to lose? Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery.
Call 855-720-BACK. 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 That's 855-720-BACK.
Don't be such a pussy. Subscribe to the Say It With Me podcast with Joe Ranieri on iTunes today.
Don't forget, make sure you text us here on the show, 305-791-3839. That is how you reach us here, 305-791-3839. We are looking for your 4 college football playoff teams. Who do you think is going to be in there? Is it Oklahoma? Is it Ohio State? Can Ohio State beat Northwestern? Can Georgia beat Alabama? What do you think? Who are the 4 teams? Send us your thoughts, 305-791-3839. Doing so will give you an opportunity to win a free day of plays courtesy of HalftimeMagic.com, the new and coolest ways to approach sports betting. That's right, HalftimeMagic.com. Do yourself a favor. Head over there, see what everyone is talking about, what the buzz is all about, but send us a text. Give yourself an opportunity to try them firsthand there, 305-791-3839. Text the show. Tell us who you think will be in the college football playoff, playing for a national championship. All right, guys, in an effort to continue to bring you nothing but the best from around the country, we welcome via the Miami Acura hotline our good friend, the Captain, from Captain_Capping on Twitter. It's definitely a follow you guys are going to want to have your Twitter feed for sure. Guys always throwing out amazing plays, and we love having him here on the show. We kid him because we're like he's the MAC master, but he's also pretty damn good at college basketball, and he's here to talk about a game that he likes a lot tonight. So, Captain, thank you very much for taking some time with us once again here on the show, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on, Joe. I really look forward to it, kind of get away from everything else and just kind of talk sports for a little bit, man.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's what it's all about. And anybody that has followed the Captain, you guys will see on his Twitter page, he gives back, man. It's all about giving back. It's he's not selling a service, so to speak, but you do work on tips, don't you, Captain?
Yeah, man. I tried to do the service on Twitter, but I actually just kind of enjoy just kind of talking to everybody and helping people out in any way. And, I really appreciate the tips. It kind of makes all the research and everything worth it. But hopefully when I win, everybody wins. So that's really what I need. So I appreciate the tips, man. I really do. But I just really like to win, and let's keep that rolling tonight.
Yeah, let's go. That's what Karma's about. I mean, earlier in the month, this man was on fire, went on like a 22-4 streak. It was just unbelievable. But he's one of the good guys in the business, and he's definitely somebody you can put your faith and your trust into. So make sure that you guys head over to @Captain_Capping and check it out. Some good stuff. Now let's talk about the game tonight, college basketball that you like here, Captain. And I think it's Ohio State, Syracuse. I think Ohio State is a 5-point favorite in this game. Talk to us about what you like here.
Yeah, that is correct, man. I'm looking at an undefeated Ohio State team versus a 3-2 Syracuse team, which Syracuse just got arguably their best player back in Frank Howard. with the win over, I think it was Colgate last game. Now he did come back after a little injury there and he didn't look good at all. They haven't looked great. They haven't really looked like Syracuse this year. Their 3 wins are bad. Their 2 losses, to a Connecticut team. They kind of have a couple things in common. Connecticut's big on the inside, just bullied them. Just really bullied them all game. Oregon with Bol down there, who just got beat by Texas Southern, 1-4.
That's correct.
At home. That's a story for another day.
Yep.
I think they're 25-point favorites, 25-point favorites at home, and get beat by. How does that even happen? And then Oregon hammered Syracuse. Both of those games were on a neutral floor. And Ohio State has got a couple impressive road wins already this year. Beating Cincinnati on the road is 5-point dogs. Pretty handily. They kind of handled that game. And when I kind of look at this game in a couple ways, how do you beat Syracuse? It's not the fact that it's at Ohio State. Okay, it's one thing, but how do you beat Syracuse? You get the ball inside in their zone, and you kick out, and you have a couple guys that can shoot threes. But that's kind of the key. Ohio State's got a guy named Caleb Wesson. He's leads their team in like every category. He kind of is that do-it-all guy. He shoots the best. I think he's going to be a nightmare for him tonight. The 3-point defense for Ohio State is the best it's been in years, and Ohio State's really good.
Yeah.
They've been holding teams to shooting about 28 to 30% on the year from the 3-point line. So they've got everything working for them in this game. Also, nonetheless, the starting center is questionable for Syracuse tonight, and like I just talked about. I just know his first name is Pash. I don't even want to try to pronounce his last name for you. I've heard a couple TV guys. I've heard about 3 different ways, but he's questionable. And if you go and you look at Weston, who I just talked about for Ohio State, even if Pascal starts for Syracuse, he's outweighed him by 40 pounds down low. The backup center is 65 pounds. All right, that's how much size advantage Ohio State has tonight. In this game, and really, once you beat Syracuse likes to press a little bit and then fall into their zone. Right? If you look this year, this has been the worst statistical season of turning people over that Syracuse has had under the last 10 years. They forced 2 turnovers in the last 2 games, even one against a Colgate team. If you can't turn Ohio State over, then you can't beat them. Not in Ohio State. Not the way that Syracuse is playing right now.
There you go. So you like.
So
where are you laying your money, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Where are you laying your money?
I am. Yes, sir. I'm taking my Ohio State -5 to the ticket counter tonight.
There you go. Ohio State -5, and I'm looking here at uwager.eu. That appears to be where the line is pretty steady there. So you heard it. The captain likes Ohio State tonight, laying that 5 against Syracuse. And I can't let you go, Captain, without talking a little MAC football, my friend. And coming up Friday, I got to ask you, man.
Yes, sir.
You're Northern Illinois taking on Buffalo, my friend. Come on. Do you got a feeling one way or another in this game?
Yeah, hey, man, I hate to say that I've called it from the beginning, but ever since we started talking, I've been a Northern Illinois guy.
Yeah.
That's my team. It's hard to root against them, but I will tell you this. If they can't control the football, they don't have a chance.
Ooh.
Okay, the only 2 times that Buffalo's gotten beat this year, Ohio and Army, all they've done is run the football. I think in that wild loss, which didn't matter for Buffalo, they only had the ball for 16 minutes in the whole football game. Buffalo did, because Ohio ran the ball. Army, we all know what Army does. Okay, if NIU can control the football, control the line of scrimmage, which they have a clear advantage on the offensive and defensive line, I think they possibly win the game outright. But if they can't control the ball and they go 3 and out early, this one might get ugly.
I'm just going to throw this bit of information, little MAC action statistic out for you, Captain. Are you ready for this? Buffalo.
Throw it at me.
Buffalo has not beaten Northern Illinois since 1968, people. Not since 1968. So, like you said, if they don't control
how many times have they played?
Yeah, that is they've played a dozen times, and they have not beaten them, man. Not beaten them. So a little bit of history, I guess. If possible, if Northern Illinois can't control the ball, you're looking at history in the making. They haven't won and beaten Northern Illinois since 1968. Buffalo 9-3 ATS on the season, though, and they won 8 games, I guess, as an average of really getting the cover, too, this year. If Buffalo has done nothing this year, they have covered in their games, my friend.
Yes, sir. Now, I will give everybody listening here, I guess, a little teaser for you. So just I will have a play on this game probably tomorrow, Friday at the latest, once I really can dive in a little bit more after this college basketball slate tonight. Starting to look at the Saints game tomorrow night. So you guys go check out, my Twitter at Captain_Capping, and I'll have that play for free for everybody.
I love it. See, so that's why you got to head over to Captain_Capping. That's Captain_Capping. He is one of the most enjoyable follows, by the way, on Twitter, and you guys will have a good time. He puts his picks out there. He also responds, so he engages with you guys, and it's awesome. And don't ever be afraid to ask questions, because the guy is just a wealth of knowledge, which is why we love having him on the show. And if you just missed it, or if you're just joining us, his play tonight, college basketball, Ohio State -5 against Syracuse. Bank it, right? Am I talking about bank it here, Captain?
Yes, sir. You going to play that one for me? All right, I'm taking this one to the window. I just hope you follow me.
That's it, man. Make sure you guys follow him at Captain_Capping. Captain, thank you for stopping by, my friend. We'll talk to you again next week.
Absolutely, man. I look forward to it, Joe.
You got it. All right, that's the Captain_Capping. Make sure you guys follow him. Love him. I mean, just one of the really good guys that sometimes they're hard to find there on Twitter and social media, because there's so many people that are just geniuses. I'm sure you didn't realize that, but everyone is a 98% winner. It's unreal. Everyone that shares their picks, whether it be for free or for want services, never loses. It's kind of hard to find anybody that's actually real, but he's about as real as they come, and we appreciate his time, him coming on the show, and we love bringing him to you. He likes Ohio State. The line is down to 4.5 now. I just looked, so there's got to be some money that's coming in there. Ohio State, Syracuse. He's taking Ohio State. That is your play there. Also, if you're just joining us, let's get you caught up with the TrendyBets.com. Their NBA free play of the night, Suns at Clippers. They like the over at 229. That is right, the over at 229. So write that down. Take that to the bank. Make sure you guys visit TrendyBets.com. And also our friends over at Halftime Magic, who were getting ready to go. What a slate of basketball games tonight. College basketball, ACC, Big Ten championships, matchups, rather. You've got, of course, the NBA. You got a lot going on. A lot of halftime bets can be made, so do yourself a favor. Head over to halftimemagic.com, or you can text us here tonight, 305-791-3839 on the halftimemagic.com text line. We are looking for who you think the 4 teams in the national championship are going to be, and you can be eligible to win a free day of plays from halftimemagic.com simply by texting and participating here on the show. So hit us up, 305-791-3839. Let's see how many Ohio State Buckeye fans we got coming in. We've already seen a whole bunch come in. I think Ohio State is definitely going to be in the top 4, but we'll see what happens. 305-791-3839. Give yourself a chance to win a free day of plays courtesy of halftimemagic.com. All right, we got a whole bunch of people. It's been a crazy show, very informative show. We want to thank, of course, Bill Connolly, SB Nation, college football writer. What great stuff there. Mac Brown, the college football playoffs. If you didn't get a chance to check out that interview, do yourself a favor. As soon as we're done here, check it out. The first interview of the show here today was Bill Connolly. Make sure you follow him on Twitter too, SBN_Bill C. One of the coolest and one of the most fun college football follows you will have on Twitter. Great guy. Thank him so much for stopping by. Also the Prez. That's right, Lawrence Presman, with a message about how to bet and what not to bet in sports betting. Just a wealth of knowledge there. Another great interview. Do yourself a favor and check that out. He's got some interesting things to say about not only bankroll, but percentage bets and what not to play, okay, when you are sports betting. There are some bets you should stay away from, and there are some bets that you should take a look at. and he did a great job of breaking that down for us today. So make sure you check that out. WagerTalk.com. He is the Prez. That is right, the Prez. Want to thank him for coming on, hanging out with us. Of course, you just heard from the captain. Ohio State is his college basketball play of the night there. Good luck that. We're loaded again tomorrow. I cannot believe it. I do believe Sports Picks 365, Jason Sports Pick 365 will be joining us. Ralph Michaels will be by also again from WagerTalk.com. We are going to have our NCAA, our college football, and our NFL talk tomorrow. We're loaded again with all sorts of information from some of the best sports professional handicappers around the country. That's what we do here on the show. So on behalf of trendybets.com, halftimemagic.com, wagertalk.com, uwager.eu, Miami Acura, I want to thank you guys, including the lunatics that are hanging out with us in the chat rooms all show long. Vori, Steven, Peter, Rawhide's hanging out in there. Terry, it's always a pleasure to see you. Actually, really nice to see. I haven't seen you in a while, Terry. Thanks for stopping by in there. All of you guys hanging out with us on a daily basis. We do the show for you. We try to bring you some straight-up knowledge, some knowledgeable and trustworthy sports handicappers and sports reporters from around the country here. That's what we try to do, try to help you become a better sports handicapper and a better sports bettor yourself. So hope you guys appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and do all of that good stuff. Feel free to share it with your friends and share it around social media. Tell people, check it out. You know how to reach us, too, as well. Any questions or anything you got along those lines, make sure that you hit us up. I can see, who do we got? New York VJC, man. It's good to see you. Smiling it up, my man. Thank you very much. And Periscope, always a pleasure to see you. Vari, good night. I will talk to you tomorrow. Guys, 4 o'clock, we do it all over again. Don't miss tomorrow's show. We got more picks coming your way, but Ohio State seems to be the captain's pick of the night, so we're going to go with that, Ohio State. Make sure you guys check out the replay of this show. Check out the Prez. Enjoy your night. New York, VJC, good to see you, brother. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Guys, thanks for making us a part of your day. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your annoying coworkers, but come back and join us tomorrow. It's the Joe Ranieri Show. Thanks for making us a part of it.